Greetings everyone, this is Eldad Amara, my channel Eyes Wide Shut. You like this top? Like this top? Eyes Wide Shut. EWS. Eyes Wide Shut. Like this top, along with some other tops, will be going onto my merch store, which I'll be starting up in 6 to 8 weeks time, hopefully. Okay, so if you like this top, I shall be dropping some merch, which will be hats, it'll be t-shirts, sweatshirts, and I think it'll be phone cases as well, so watch out for that. So if you like this top, Eyes Wide Shut, look out for it. I'll be dropping this in small, medium, and large and extra large. Today, I want to talk to you about a concept of a thing called money. You see, money is an illusion. Money is an illusion. And I'll say it one more time, money is an illusion. This video is entitled Ghost Money. You see, many years ago, money used to be measured by gold or silver, by the amount of gold or silver that you had, yeah, in exchange for this money. But now, gold and silver has been removed, okay, has been removed. Both in America and in the UK, money is no longer backed by the amount of gold or silver that you have. Okay, it's been removed. Now, money is such a powerful concept, yeah? Because guess what? Money is really a dead entity. It's really a dead concept. Money itself has no real value. It's just printed off of paper, yeah? It's printed off of paper. This dollar bill or dollar note, right, has no real value. If I was to say which one of these two things you think have more value, this glass of water or this dollar bill, which one is more, what do you think, which one is of more value? You see, if you're in the desert and you have this money, it would have no use to you whatsoever, but this will probably have more value, okay, because you couldn't survive without it. What are you going to do with this money? You're going to eat it if you're in the desert? What can you do to burn it and keep warm or something? Okay? It has no real intrinsic value, but people go crazy over this money. They go crazy over it. It has no real intrinsic value. It's a dead entity. It cannot move, right? It doesn't have any life. It doesn't have any emotion, yeah? It has none of those things. But it creates emotions within us, feelings within us, whether it makes us feel happy if we have it, feel sad if we have it, or feel angry or feel enviousness because we don't have it, and we need it almost for every single thing in our life. Yeah, almost every single thing we need this money for. Now, on this emotional frequency chart, I've shown this many times before. You have this emotional frequency chart. Yeah? And I'm going to come back in a minute to how money affects our emotions. This emotional frequency chart is governed by various different frequencies, okay? Our bodies send out very different frequencies, many different frequencies, from here at the very bottom, which is shame, going up to things such as courage, which carries a 200 hertz frequency, and love carrying a 500 hertz frequency, to enlightenment at the top, which is about 700 to 1000 hertz frequency, right? Now, money will make us feel different, okay, on this scale here of emotions, On the scale of emotions, money will make us feel different dependent on what experiences we are going through or what desires we have. I go back to this thing here, money. It really has no true intrinsic value. You see, there's something called quantitative easing. And there's also another concept which is called fiat money. Fiat money. What are these concepts? Let me read out to you. Right. What is quantitative easing? This is what I asked Copilot. Can you tell me what is quantitative easing? Quantitative easing is a tool used by central banks like the Bank of England or USA Federal Reserve to help boost the economy when it's struggling, especially during a recession or financial crisis. How does it work? Here's the basic idea. The central bank creates new money electronically. It uses that money to buy government bonds or other financial assets from the banks and investors. This puts more money into the financial system, making it easier and cheaper for people and businesses to borrow and spend. For businesses to borrow and spend. So this is just a concept, yeah, quantitative easing. It's put into the system, yeah? Money's put into the system, and they use things such as stocks and shares to try and get the economy going. Okay, so what's the goal? The goal is, for quantitative easing, lower interest rates on loans and mortgages, encourage spending and investment, boost economic growth, prevent deflation, right, which is falling prices. Right, so Copilot says, think of it like this. Imagine the economy is a plant that's wilting, and quantitative easing is like the central bank turning on a money sprinkler to what the roots, hoping it will perk up and grow and bloom again. Right, any downsides to quantitative easing? Yes. Quantitative easing has risk. It might inflate asset prices like stocks or housing. Okay, because quantitative easing, they'll use stocks and things like housing to try and boost the economy. Right, it can increase inequality since wealthier people often benefit more if overused. It could eventually lead to higher inflation. And then Copilot says, would you like to see how quantitative easing has worked in the UK or in other countries, or how it compares to other tools like the interest rate cuts? All right. And then quantitative easing. What is quantitative easing? Sorry, what is fiat money? Because this is really big. Listen to this. As I told you before, money now has no true value. It used to be measured by the amount of gold or silver that you had. Okay, so you could exchange that money based on the amount of gold or silver that you had. You could exchange the money in replacement for the gold, or equivalent, should I say, really, to the amount of gold or silver that you held. But now that money has no value. Okay, if it had value, then tell me this: why is it that money goes out of circulation after a while? And the money that's gone out of circulation, you know what they do with it? My cousin told me this many years ago, that he was driving somewhere, yeah, on the outskirts of the city, and he saw money being burnt in a furnace. And he said, wow, look at that, man. Money's being burnt in a furnace. I could do without money. I could do without money. Why are they using that money? Why are they burning it? If that money had any true value, why are they burning it? Yeah? And they ain't going to give it away to no poor people who might be struggling. They take the money and they burn it. So if that money had any true value, yeah, like a house, like a car, yeah, why would you burn it? It has no real value. It's an illusion. Money is an illusion. What is fiat money? Fiat money is currency that has no intrinsic value. It's not backed by physical commodity like gold or silver. Its value comes entirely from trust and authority of government that issues it. So government who issues it. I keep telling you about government. Government is nothing but governing your mental, right? The word government really means governing your mental. You put these people in power, right, to try and look after your interest. You elect MPs in order to try and change things for you, for the better. Democracy means for the people, by the people, right? So you elect your MPs and they go into the Houses of Parliament, into the House of Lords, or go into the White House, and you expect them to do what you're asking them to do, right? But are they really there to do what you're asking them to do? Or is there a power behind government that is really controlling things? And the government are really just puppets for an entity which is pulling all the strings. Fiat money. What does this actually mean? Fiat money is currency that has no intrinsic value. It's not backed by physical commodity like gold or silver. Its value comes entirely from trust and authority of the government that issues it. Example, the British pound, the US dollar, and the euro. Note, you can't redeem these gold or in anything intangible. You can't redeem these for gold or anything tangible. They are valuable because everyone agrees they are. They're valuable because everyone agrees that they are. Advantage of fiat money. Flexible supply. Government can print more money to respond to economic needs, like during a crisis. I'm not going to read out all of these. Okay, another advantage. Support modern economies. Enables complex financial systems, credit and investment. Cost effective. No need to store or mine gold or other commodities. That's its advantages. Okay, there's others, but I'm not going to go into that. Disadvantages of fiat money. Inflation risk. If too much is printed, it can lose value quickly. Requires trust. If people lose faith in the government or economy, the currency can collapse. No intrinsic value. Unlike gold, it's just paper or digital numbers. Its worth is symbolic. Its worth is symbolic. See this? Its worth is symbolic. Here's another one. Its worth is symbolic. Look at all these things that's on this note there. Look. Pyramids and eagles and all these other things, all these other symbols on this note. All symbolism. This money isn't worth nothing. You can burn it in a furnace. It has no real value. The value that's attached to it is our emotions. The value that's really attached to it is our emotions. This thing has no feelings. It has no feelings. It has no emotions. Right? It has no feelings. It has no emotions. It's not a tangible asset. Okay? You can go and print as much of it as you want. Just imagine that. Because it's paper and it's got a face on there and somebody's signed and put some signature on there, right? And a load of numbers. You think that this thing has any true value, but it doesn't. Let me go on. Disadvantage of fiat money can be mismanaged. Poor monetary policy can lead to hyperinflation, like in Zimbabwe or Venezuela. Right, quick analogy. Think of fiat money like a concert ticket. It's just paper, but it gives you access to something valuable as long as the concert, which is economy, is still happening and people believe in it. And people still believe in it. See, belief in it, belief in it. You have to have belief in it, or else it doesn't serve any purpose really. So listen, a person who has £300 in their pocket and they walk along the road and somebody bangs them over the head with something and nicks their money, what kind of emotion do you think that's going to create? First of all, you got the person who wants to rob someone. What kind of emotion did he have? What purpose was it that he wanted to go and rob this money from someone? Maybe, you never know, he has problems with housing. Maybe he's got a drug problem. Maybe he does it out of kicks, robbing people, right? But the money itself that he's taken from some citizen, mind his own business, walk along the road, the next minute he gets robbed, right? This person who has robbed person of the public, what kind of emotion did he have at the time? Was it shame? Was it guilt? Was it apathy? Was it pride, courage? What frequency was he on? Okay? What frequency was he on? The person who just got mugged, right? Or robbed. What feelings does he have after being robbed of his money? Is it anger, which carries 150 hertz frequency? Is it fear? Now he might be in fear that if he carries any money around again with him, that he might get robbed again. So fear carries 100 hertz frequency. Remember, this money ain't real. That's the point I'm trying to make. But for us, and for a lot of other people, it carries a certain type of emotion. Would it be joy after this person has been assaulted and robbed? What kind of emotional frequency would he have? Now, somebody loses their home, right? Somebody loses their home. They lose their job, and then next they lose their home. What kind of frequency would they be on? Would it be desire, which carries 125 hertz frequency? Would it be possibly fear? This person fears going to prison. Would it be courage? Or would it be possibly anger? And anger carries, as we've seen before, 150 hertz frequency. See, our emotions are measured in frequency. It's measured in frequency. Okay? Hertz is measured from peak to peak in waves. Money, which has no feelings, it has no emotions. It makes us feel and act in a certain way because we believe that it has some real value, some kind of intrinsic value, and money has no true value. Somebody who robs a bank, right? And as he's leaving the bank, or he could be with a group of other people who decided to rob a bank. Now they robbed the bank and they've taken, say, £1 million, and they're running out and they've got weapons on them, yeah, guns. Now a police officer fires at them, and then one ends up unalive. He ends up unalive. You got to be so careful with your words on social media nowadays, because guess what? Your videos could get pulled down. So one of the robbers from the bank gets unalive for this paper money, which has no true intrinsic value. It's not measured by anything. It's not measured by gold, and it's not measured by silver. It's measured by the trust in it, the belief in it. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Stay with me, people. Stay with me. Yeah? Some woman, now she goes and she's playing bingo in a hall, and she wins, say, £50,000. Wow, £50,000. Ooh, how does that make her feel? How does that make her feel? Let's go back to this emotional scale. How does that make her feel? Does she feel pride, which carries 175 hertz frequency? Now she's got a bit of a big head on her. She feels so proud that she's won all this money. Would it be grief? I don't think so. That's 75 hertz frequency, grief. Would she feel love? Or would she feel joy? Joy, more than likely, is a frequency she might feel. Joy, which carries a 500 hertz frequency. And then other people who see her winning this money, who are playing bingo with her, feel envious. They feel envious. I don't know if envious is on here as a frequency. Envious. Okay, I can't see enviousness on here. Closest thing I could think to that would be jealousy. Okay, so that carries a certain frequency. Some people feel envious. Some people feel jealous. They're not the same thing. But there's a correlation between the two. And the reason they feel like that, unknowingly, is because of this thing here, money. Money and the illusion of it. This one here, this dollar bill, probably that got burnt, put in a furnace, torn up, and replaced probably with this one. Yeah? See how money keeps changing symbols. And you got all the numbers there, like this. The numbers for the money, for the notes. Man, people, we need to wake up. Money used to have value, but now it has no true value. It's only the belief in it and also the trust in it why we think that money has any real use. It's not a live thing, okay? It doesn't have any emotions or feelings. It doesn't care whether you lose your house or not. It doesn't care whether or not you lose your job. It doesn't care whether or not you win £50,000 on bingo. It doesn't matter if somebody got unalived for it, because it has no value. It's what we put in it, our trust and our belief in it. And I could just so easily take this thing in now, and if I rip it up and then I took it to a bank or to a shop, you know what? They say, you can't buy nothing with that. I said, but I just work for it. Okay? I just work for this. They would say, it has no value. Because you just ripped it up. Had no value anyway. It's a value that you put in it. Money. They can just print as much of it as they want. Yeah, government. And other people believing that it's doing something, really. When in actuality, it's not really doing anything. Because it all depends on how much trust you want to put in the money and the people behind it. I could go print a load of money, right? But because I haven't got the authority to print the money, it ain't gonna have no value. But those government ministers, through their banks, they can go and print as much of this money as they want. But it has no true value. Money is an illusion. Money is ghost money. It has no true value. This is part 1 of this video, and I shall be doing another video on money. Right? I hope you get the concept. Money is just an illusion. I done a song on money many years ago, and it's called Money Illusion, and it's by Cirrus B, 909 Cirrus B, and it's called Money Illusion. You can listen to that song on YouTube and also Spotify. Anyway, this is Eldad Amara, and as I say again, if you like this video and you like this t-shirt I got on, okay, I'll be doing mugs, cups, hats, yeah, t-shirts and sweatshirts, and possibly cases for phones also. And these things should be up online within the next 6 to 8 weeks. Anyway, this is Eldad Amara with my channel Eyes Wide Shut. Thank you.